Alright, good morning, guys. What's up, guys? I hope everyone's doing good. Let me know if the music's too loud in the background. I can turn it down. I am in New Zealand US dollar sales right now. I'll go over them in a minute, but mainly wanted to get on here to just kind of talk with everyone, let everyone get back. I haven't really said much since I lost the account except for in the Telegram, and it's super disappointing. And I just kind of, when you lose an account like that after being in it for like a long time and passing it and getting funded, like your clarity just goes out the window when you like fail it. So like the last few days, like that's why I wanted to at least send something in the Telegram. The last few days hadn't had like any clarity at all. Yesterday's the first day I was able to kind of piece together the market, and I'm still trading the same way, but I hadn't been able to see it the way I was seeing it, at least when I was trading the audition and even before the audition. But all that being said, I don't think like a lot of it does have to do with our internal clarity, but like this big move in the market that happened across every single pair right here, or no, it was Friday's move. This move right here, it shifted a lot of markets. Like this market up until that time had been trending downward. Same thing with like all these pairs right now, AUD US dollar. So like the markets did make a shift based on that move on Friday, and then we just been stuck a lot in that big range. But it's no excuse, right? I should have still had the internal clarity to navigate those market conditions, but I just didn't. So it's not the end of the world. I made like a whole video talking about it and like, how I'm like recovering, like trying to like put my head in the right space to get back on track to make the next right move, so like we don't fall too far behind. But I ended up not posting the video because I just wasn't. I've just needed some time off the last few days. Yeah, Luboslav, I needed you to say that, brother. For sure. It's possible. It is. And like, had we done the exact same thing we did in the audition, we would have been up 50K right now in like a week. So it's possible. I think one thing I went over in this video that I never posted, that I thought like was probably the only good thing in the video, was basically that like now, like this time failing in this way, like there's not like this big stress of, man, am I ever gonna make this, or like how long is it gonna take? Because now I know it's not gonna take long. I just need to do the thing that I guess I haven't been willing to do like a lot of my life, which is just like let go of control and fully detach. Like that video I made, like that video I was talking about like the concept of it and how like it really could, and I really believe it's the key to success. But unless we fully detach beforehand, I don't think those big numbers in trading will come. And it's a lot easier said than done. I haven't figured it out yet, but at the same time too, I was still doing some good trading. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not completely upset about the trading I was doing in the account. Like, I was taking solid trades that just weren't playing out. So with that being said, I think too, though, that the markets really should be playing out. Like, I don't think they're as random as we think, and sometimes they look like they're random, but we're just probably not seeing them from the right angle. Now today, I'm going to go over this trade and why I'm in it. It's the same thing, the same concept of what Sai's doing, ICC. Instead of just seeing it though, like with these, I needed to take a break from seeing it like this, because here's the thing. When we were drawing on this wick structure and we were looking for trades below here like this, even though the wick structure like told us it like clear as day what we were in, it was still a little hard, because sometimes you'd have like stuff like this, and you'd have like other swing points that you could be going off of, and then you didn't really know like, okay, are we trading back above this level or are we trading back below this level? And what I mean by that is like if we had a level like this, it's kind of hard to draw it on right now. What I mean is like a level like this, right? So you'd get stuck in between like two levels, one where you could trade below, one where you could trade higher, and then you kind of get screwed and you don't really know exactly what you're going to do, or it's just caught in the middle of all of it and you're not like having any clear picture. So what I've done is I've taken something we've done in the past I've taken candle range theory, which is just basically CRT on the daily time frame, and I'm going to go over an example of a trade that played out yesterday. It'll probably be easier, and then I can break down this one. But on Euro US dollar yesterday, here's a perfect example. It was based on that move on Friday. So you can see when you're looking at candle ranges, just so you guys know, it's just another version of this. It's just another way to look at ranges, right? So you're still looking at like, this is a daily candle higher, this is a pullback, this is the next daily candle continuation, this is a daily candle pullback. So that's what you're seeing, but there's multiple ways to see structure, so this is all still structure. But basically you could see Friday's candle is 100% the candle range we're in, that's the low, and then this is the high, and then what candle did it break beyond? It was this one. That was the break of structure. So you can see you get multiple opportunities off of this alone. You get two different types of opportunities. You get one that's an opportunity like size, which was made, this is the opportunity you would have had yesterday, and then there's the opportunity of like turtle soup or like a liquidity grab as well, which I'll show you at your trading hours when you come to the markets at 9 a.m. If you're just going for one or the other, basically you're looking to buy back above here, and you're looking to buy the rejection of this. So it's like you got right here at 9 a.m. you got the liquidity, like you got two ways to trade it, right? You got two ways to trade ranges. You're trading continuations of ranges, or you're trading liquidity grabs of ranges, right? That's all we've ever done. And so like looking at the daily ranges like that, and then yesterday you could see price at 9 a.m. got back above here. You always want time in your favor, right? 9 a.m. So you could see this is, and the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is this is like the first clarity I got back into the markets since I've been like, or since I had lost that account. So this is just I'm just kind of giving you guys a basic rundown of how I'm viewing the markets right now. So now you got not just one thing you're looking at. You could have potential for like a turtle soup, but you've also got potential for like that continuation. So now you have two possible plays based on ranges, which is just like we said, the same thing. It's just pulling back like this. That's all you're seeing on the daily time frame with the daily candles, and then you're just looking for opportunities based on that at 9 a.m. just to go 1-to-1. And then really we just need to get back to the headspace of winning 3 out of 5 a week, which I'll be completely transparent with you guys. When you go on a 15 trade win streak, which like my edge went on like a 16 trade win streak before I lost one in the live account, that's so bad for me. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's good for a while. Had we actually been doing it all in a cash account, we did some of it in a cash account. Had we done it all in a cash account, we would have been up like significantly, but a lot of it was wasted trades on the audition. Not wasted, I mean, they counted towards something, but they just didn't profit ultimately. But the problem why going on like a 15, 16 trade win streak sucks for me is it's a good thing, it's a blessing and a curse, because then if it ends, you have to immediately revert back to, I only need to win 3 out of 5 a week. But then you lose a trade, then you lose a second trade, and you're only like down 2 for the week, but you think the week's over because like you literally just were winning every single trade, and you get super frustrated. So like if you guys are ever going on a significant winning streak, just remember this for real. If it starts to lose like a little, just revert back to that basic like understanding of, if you're trading 1-to-1, you just need to win 6 out of 10 times, 3 out of 5 times, 11 out of 20 times. You know, that's like what I wish I would have done this last time around, but it is what it is. So same concept here, guys. You can see it plays out on numerous different areas. Yesterday was also the same thing with GBP USD. You could see this daily candle pushed through and broke that one, and then that was kind of the low. This was kind of the high, but you can see yesterday during your trading hours, you would have been, if we can get to the 1 hour, or above, like at 9 a.m. Like we're already like sitting above, like this is 9 a.m. right here. So you're just looking for like 1-to-1s off of that stuff. But and then this one I actually never grabbed liquidity down there. But I'll break down the trade we're in right now. This is New Zealand US dollar shorts. It's the exact same concept. Hey Luca, we started the stream a little late in the day, so we had pretty much just got in the trade when I started it. But the main reason I wanted to get on here is just to talk to you guys, just to encourage you guys, tell you guys that I'm still going. I hope you're still going. But it's tough. It's tough to keep going sometimes. This is like the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, is trying to stay consistent with trading. Alright, so now here's the thing. We've got a little, and like I looked at all the pairs this morning. We can do that. We can do that together, since I didn't do that on the stream. So my risk management, that's something I'll never change. I just like taking one trade a day, risking 15 pips to make 15 pips, and just doing it at like around the 8:50 macro or 9 a.m. Today I got in at exactly 9 a.m. But here's the thing. If you look at all your pairs and you have multi-asset, like, let me turn my volume down a little bit, it's kind of loud on my end. If you got multiple assets to look through, like a lot of people speak against that, but you have to think about it. If you're trading only one pair, that one pair might have like one really good trade this week. But if you're looking at other pairs too, the other pairs might have like 1 or 2 really good trades this week, but on different days. And that, so you're just increasing your as long as your analysis isn't something so crazy in depth and it's super simple like this, to the point where you're not going to get like distorted by looking at so many charts. But if you have something like black and white that's literally like you can't make it up, that's when you can actually look at multiple assets and pick the best one for the day, and it's just going to increase the odds in your favor. Now, so this trade right here, we have this big candle right here, this big downward candle that closed below right here, right? We closed below right here, this daily candle. I'm looking at the daily candles because daily candle ranges, the highs and lows of daily ranges, that's a lot of what institutional money is going off of. They're mainly going off the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. Institutional money is always going to be with the higher time frame. As much as I like to trade the lower time frames and whatnot, I'm starting to learn that they're just not doing that as much. They do for entries and whatnot, but institutional traders are really basing their levels off of higher time frame things. Now here's the idea. I really believe in the ICC concept of there's an indication in the market, which you can see this is the indication, us closing below this swing point, this daily low, and a strong close below. Then we don't close any lower. We grab liquidity down here, but we don't close any lower. Price is pushing higher. It's correcting, right? And we corrected back inside of here. And now correcting back inside of here, we want to see a replicated move in the market. So last time this happened, price pushed down. And so we want price to mirror that now that during our trading hours, we're coming in here and we're pushing down. Now, I don't want the full move. Every time you try to get the full move, maybe we'll get good at getting the full move one day. Maybe that's something we got to practice, but it's a lot of times it will give you a good amount of the move and you just never know when it's going to turn. So with that being said, we've got during our trading hours, which is just we're trying to enter at 9 a.m., which is that 4-hour candle. You could see we pulled back inside of here, and now we've also closed back down out of here during New York, during our volume, back below that imbalance, back below that daily low. We should ideally at least come for like 50% of this range. Like that's really where we should come for, but even more so, we can get like, I'm pretty sure our take profit happens to be in a line with exactly where this internal play is going. And what I just broke down was the external range. We're externally breaking lower on the daily right now, and this is a pullback and a continuation based on that, this candle close. But inside of this candle range, we've got another candle range right now. Let me get rid of that. We've got another candle range right now, which has the high right here. You can see we've got this high right here. Let me make this black. And then this is the internal candle range that we're based off of. So even more so than we're getting that continuation off of here, we're also getting a play off of here. We can scale down to the 15-minute. You can see in this candle range right in here, low, high. The high has been swept, turtle soup. So you're getting a turtle soup internally with an external continuation. Like this is like as highest quality of a setup as it gets. Now on top of it, I'm gonna show you. This is probably this is coincidental more than anything else, but it's something to note that this range too, this daily range that we're sweeping and looking to fall back inside of, you can see too our take profits right at 50% of that range. It's kind of hard to see, it's over here. So this trade right now, like this is as good as an institutional trade setup gets. That's as possibly good as an institutional trade setup will get. And now even more so, we have a clean fair value gap on the 1 hour that formed in here, a very, very small one, and you could see prices tapping into it and rejecting. So this is the idea, right? These are the types of setups that you want to get behind, and they're not going to win 100% of the time, but you really should win more than 60% of the time. Like, it should be like, if you're hitting 70% of the time on these 1-to-1s, you're making like a solid income off of this. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you gotta that's a good point, but you have to understand, like, even if we're taking trades off the daily time frame, you're looking for, first of all, the price to make its you're looking for price to move at a certain time of day, but you're not necessarily trying to catch a home run. Here's a perfect example. GU right here, right? Like, you got price running up yesterday at 9 a.m. at your trading hours. The idea was for it to match here, and had you matched that entire move trying to go for like 1-to-2 or whatever, we would have missed out on that base hit. And so the idea behind just taking 1-to-1s or taking base hits or just getting that 15 pip move is really, it's a risk management strategy more than anything else, because I know that I have a better chance of hitting base hit after base hit after base hit after base hit, instead of trying to go for these home runs where the market, like, this was a beautiful play yesterday. We traded back above this level again right before our trading hours. We were extremely bullish. There was no conflicting news or anything, and price did give you the move. Price did push, right? It just didn't push all the way. So like, we could, at the most, we could have some type of trailing stop strategy behind it, but like, you don't want to give up when you're right. You don't want to not make money when you're right in the market. And so that's why 1-to-1's been the best for me. It's just, the problem is it's so good sometimes that you're literally hitting higher win streaks, and then when you go into a dip, sometimes it's just unfortunate. But I wanted to get on here and talk with you guys. I wanted to break down this trade that we're in right now. There was nothing, the only other thing that was close to having a setup too today was, and see, the reason we didn't take this setup though is because we were above this level, but I'll show you. Here's the daily. We're still kind of in another bigger range too right now on the daily, on US dollar yen, but we did get price closing below here. Plus, on that bigger range too, as long as we're like below there, these are kind of our two levels to trade below. Like, we'll probably see, and this is the same thing as yesterday. We got in, there was a short around like 9 a.m. right in like here. Look at, we were expecting price to go all the way down, but it didn't, right? But it did go 40 pips, so it's like you gotta weigh that. And like this was, you know, you going only for 15 pips, this trade would have resolved relatively fast. But same thing today. We just at 9 a.m. now, you can see we were back above this level. I would have preferred something below this level, and then like you just get in. So like even getting in at 10 a.m. on USDN for a short after price closes below there, it's probably a valid continuation at that point. And we could even see today price come back below, take out this liquidity, and match this level. And I mean, that's even like putting the dollar against what New Zealand's doing. New Zealand has a higher probability right now than USDN because it's already closing and trading below that level like strongly. Yeah, we can break down gold. We can break down gold. So like if we were gonna look at it like from the same point of view, we gotta see like on a daily perspective, are we inside of any bigger range right now? We're not. We're just breaking higher range after range after range. Like the best possible thing to see in something like this is going to be literally this right here. It's literally going to be, I'll show you all of these plays, and you're gonna see like when we drop down like that, like these levels are super important. You're gonna ideally want to see something like that. So like had we like been pulling back here and turtle souping off of there, or coming back below this level and breaking higher than this level, that's really what you want. But like I'll show you. So like, okay, this is the break of structure, right? Let's just go back in time. There's really nothing, there's really no setup right now in gold, but let's go over this really quick, right? So you got this we're not stuck inside of a previous candle range. You could see we got lower, created a new one, got lower, and the candle ranges are breaking higher at this point. So we've got this candle breaking higher than this candle. Now when we break higher, that's where we break higher. You can see you have price pull back some on the next day, but we're still inside this range. During this day, I can almost guarantee the sweep of this day, the turtle soup of this day, and the pullback and continuation, that's what happened first before that move up. And you could see that's exactly what happened. We hadn't cleared these highs. We had pulled back to turtle soup this liquidity in here to also come back correct here, and then for price, that's where all the volume kicked in. And that's how like the institutional trades are being taken. You could see the same thing here right around our trading hours too, around 9 a.m. This was last Friday. This trade wasn't by accident, right? We had broken above this level, we had pulled back, and then we didn't get to trade back above here because this was kind of high, but we did have this to go off of, and you could see it kicks in price, and the same thing over and over. But we don't let me go back to like the 4 hour or something to see let's go back to the daily. So yeah, we're basically in this range right now. So like the only thing you could have wanted to hope for is like, had we not pulled back already, like some type of sweep of this then to pull back to 50%, but price looks like it's just continuing higher with not giving any real opportunity for entry right now, because like we had already pulled back 50%. So this is probably going to push higher, and then we're going to have another line to pull back off of and to go higher, and so on and so forth, another indication or whatnot. So but yeah, we'll probably add gold to the assets that will trade alongside these US dollar pairs when we do an audition again. This is what I need your guys' help with though. I need help figuring out what my next move should be. Should I focus on a cash account for a while, or should I just should I take another audition but a smaller one? Yeah, no problem. I hope the breakdown made sense. Cash. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think I want to practice for like a week though, and just take trades for like a week, and just lock in a week where I win 3 out of 5, starting next week, and then I think I want to throw cash in the following week. It's been just super stressful around here. And delete that fair value gap. Has really nothing to do with what we're doing. Cash audition. I can argue both, honestly. The audition I'd want to do mainly because it's less risk, but at the same time too, it's just super like frustrating for me to not make any money on my winning trades. Like, maybe we just start up a small cash and a small audition, like a 50K audition, and like throw in like a little bit of cash. But then if we're losing too, then it's like we don't want to be losing on both ends. We could just hedge. That wouldn't be a hedge technically though. That would not be a hedge because we'd be losing more on the cash account than we would on the audition technically. Yeah, US dollar yen might make moves lower today though, trading back below those levels, but at the same time too, this is not like a good sign for it, the fact that it got like that close and failed to get there. But it could just be more to grab. Plus it's kind of in opposition to what we're doing right now, but we'll see. The whole idea is just going to be to show up and pick the best possible trade, and then just like, you know, more than anything else, like being in the markets for as long as we've been in, we have a better eye for price. It just sometimes, like, the markets don't respect our perspective, you know what I mean? Plus, a lot of the times too, we have to see an opposing point of view. So like, I'll show you guys this. This is super interesting on this trade right here even. So mainly like, okay, there's so much to like when it comes to structure, and when it comes to even like trading candle ranges like this, there's so many ways to trade off of it, right? Now, when we created this big move lower, we had created a low that we could have grabbed liquidity to come back up 50%. We 100% did that, right? You can see, you could drop to the smaller time frame, we'll go to the 1 hour even. You can see we did actually eventually do that. 15-minute probably would have been better to see it on. But you can see we take this low out, and then we, you know, turtle soup it or whatever, and then Friday we get price to push back. Now, when it does this though, you got to see on the daily. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Because like, yes, these days right here did not close lower, so we're technically still in this push down. But the fact that we, instead of just waiting, like let's just say for price to come all the way up here, you can see even internally here, what ended up happening is this day right here, we also closed higher than this day. And now that also gave us like, if we were to continue moving higher to try to correct back up into this price point, you can see even going to the 1 hour, the same thing occurs. And then like this is like 11 p.m. So this is like New York right here. This is New York, your trading hours. And then you get in, like, market finally above 10 a.m. starts pushing higher. It has to be during your trading hours. If it's not during your trading hours, you could see like you got a push up, but it just didn't make it the entire way. And then you actually have the same thing here, and you get that market mirroring that move there. So even though you're kind of waiting for a sell setup to occur, which is what we did right here, waiting for the sell to present itself, like there's ways to trade it on the way up, not only like there, but also like in the turtle soup here. This one would have been a weird turtle soup. You really probably wouldn't have got a good trade off of that, because you really would have to be like closing like right above here, and like the candle just pushed up the entire way during that news. So that trade would have been missed in hindsight. But yeah, it's just like being able to spot whichever most probable trade you're in for the day is going to be the best thing. Now, if they don't play out, they don't play out. There's not much you can do about it, but you can see like you're taking like solid trades, right? You know what I mean? Like it's off of clear like daily levels. So my goal, guys, is to get like just secure a positive 3 out of 5 week next week, and just kind of see where we're at, and then probably throw in some cash the following week with a 50K. Because right now this trade's not open. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. It's just a paper trade right now because I wanted to get on here and talk with you guys today, and I didn't want to risk any more money this week. But next week, I don't know if I want. We'll see how the weekend goes. Honestly, I say this now, but probably by the end of the weekend, we'll probably have thrown cash into an account and we'll be trading live. So, stream's been going for about a half hour. We'll hang out for a little bit longer. We won't keep it too long though. Price did get back above that level at this point though. We're still though, we're still like, I think, playing around in this 1 hour fair value gap. Now, in terms of the 4 hour, like price is definitely making a decision up here. The last thing I wanted to do though is come for this high. Which there's potential for it to come for this high. There's just less potential than there is for it to go the other way. Because you got to remember, like whenever you're talking structure, you're talking protected swing points and unprotected. Now from a daily perspective right now, like we did not close lower than here. Yes, we did on the smaller time frames, clearly on the 4 hour right here. But really those are just like those are just daily rejections, right? That's that turtle soup, that's that wick. So, from a daily perspective, like our stop loss is literally like hopefully in line with where institutions have their stops. And a lot of probably what people are seeing, because look at, they don't trade the daily or the higher time frames. A lot of what people are seeing right now on the lower time frames is that we're in an uptrend, right? And yeah, that uptrend is breaking right here. We're failing to go higher right here, creating lower highs and whatnot, and trading back below this level again, and really failing to come above here. But with that being said, that's building up liquidity right here, definitely right here, right here, right here. So like a lot of people that are in buys right now, putting their stops behind like here per se, is perfect build up of liquidity with them not having any higher time frame perspective. Now in the higher time frame though, we're literally above that place where price dropped off a cliff, right? On last Wednesday, right? We literally dropped off a cliff once we got below that daily low. So that daily low is super important for us to be trading back under. The fact, like, you can see the reactions that this daily low is going to have, because like price is really, unless like the buyers really want to take over, like we're gonna see this be at like a point of extreme resistance, and that's kind of how it was. I mean, you could see on Euro US dollar, this same exact price level that we had talked about, that price had moved much higher beyond. You could see it failed to get higher there. Once it finally did get higher, it failed to go lower. It held pretty strong and at least gave you somewhat of a push. You know what I mean? So it's a super strong level, like a super strong level. But I'm really like at this point in trading, like trying to think in probabilities more than anything else. Like I would say, and I'm trying to be like a lot more conservative and not like super like over the top hopeful, because when you get super married to a trade and it doesn't work out, you just really question your ability. So like I fully believe though that this trade right here has at least a 60% chance of winning. But back in the day, honestly, like I would tell myself like this trade's got an 80% chance of winning, 90%, and it probably does. But just because of the quality of the setup, not only are we getting a continuation off the daily range that happened like last time, but we're also getting an internal turtle soup. Like, this trade has a lot going for it institutionally, but all that being said, telling myself that this trade has literally got a 60% chance of winning, that is going to make me a lot more okay if I lose. So it's not even about telling yourself the truth sometimes. Even if this is like an A+++ setup and has a lot higher probability of winning, tell yourself it's got a 60% chance, and if you lose, you're not going to be bummed out. Because you're bummed out if you lose like a 90% chance winning trade. Even if it did have a 90% chance of winning, you still could have caught that 10% chance it didn't win, and then you're super upset thinking about how unlucky you are, you know what I mean? So you really got to just tell yourself things to keep yourself going. But we'll probably end up throwing up some cash into an account next week. I wanted to hop on with you guys today and just talk and kind of just bounce some ideas off of you, get some feedback from you guys. I want to trade an audition again, but I mainly want to make money trading again, and like the way I'm gonna do that's just it's probably got to be cash for a little bit. So, but we might just trade I'm debating. I either want to throw in like 5K and like up my lot size a little bit more, or throw in 10K and just keep my leverage like 10. And that way, like when we win or lose, it's like 1.5% or whatever. That's probably what we're gonna do, guys. We'll probably come back next week with a 10K cash account, and we'll probably just risk 1.5, we're risking 15 pips, so we'll probably just risk 1.5% a day, and trade super small for a season. It'll still be like $150 a day, but man, I'll tell you what, there was like this bot, and it didn't work out for people, but it like basically dollar cost average. Well, long story short, it was a trading system these guys in like Tampa, Florida used to do or whatever. Let me finish that. Let me write someone really quick about something. Don't let me forget what I was saying though, it was important. Sorry, guys. Okay, what was I saying? Sorry, something I had to write someone really quick. Something kind of important. I think I was basically just gonna say we're gonna come back Monday and trade a cash account. Oh yeah, okay. Here's the thing. So Tampa trading bot. I'm so glad you reminded me. So here's the thing. There's a group of guys, I think they were in Tampa, and they had a trading system that was basically managing a lot of people's money, and they would pay a subscription fee, and like they basically, you hook up their EA to your trading account, and you know it does like a martingale strategy, but instead of martingaling, it's just dollar cost averaging. So instead of doubling down every time, you just get in at the same size, right? So you place one lot, then if it goes against you, you place another lot, and if it goes against you, you place another lot, so on and so forth. And basically what they would do though is they would trade so small that like when you would win a trade, like let's say it didn't go against you at all and you just went straight to take profit, you're literally making like 0.2%. Well, long story short, the thing didn't work long term, but like on a short-term basis, you know, because eventually if you dollar cost average without any type of stop, it's gonna run against you forever at some point, right? But here's the thing though, if it doesn't, or if they had a hard stop, which they should have, but they didn't, if they had some type of hard stop in place, they were averaging, you know, between 7 to 14 to 21% on a monthly basis, and they would do it, and they would average those numbers for like 3-4 years at a time before they would ever have something run against them like long term. But the moral of the story is, the people, and I was a part of it for like 3 months. I'll be honest, I probably made like $3,000 off of it, and I got in at a good time while it was working and whatnot. I made like $3,000 off of it a while ago, but I just didn't like the whole dollar cost averaging and really not protecting your capital. Like the pure possibility that one day it could completely go against me was enough to not do it. But the thing is, for months at a time, this bot was running on a MetaTrader account I had for like 3 months. But I'd put in like, you know, 10K, and in 3 months it was up to 13K. But here's the thing, every single time I would win a trade, or the bot would win a trade, and it would close in profit, it would be like a $20 win. And it was just doing this all the time. And so it was like $20 on 10K, you're not thinking about it, you're not excited about it, you're not happy about it, like it's just, and so that's why I'm like, next week, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like, I'd rather maybe put in like a little bit more money, but then trade small, risk like 1.5% a day to make 1.5, and just trade for like a month again, and like see what percentage we can get up for the month, you know what I mean? So that was the whole thought behind it, because if you trade small enough to the point where you don't care if you win or lose the trade for the day, it helps you go a lot further, you know what I mean? But I have a problem with just putting too much size into my each daily position, and it's helped me a lot in the past, I'm not gonna lie, but it's also hurt me a lot too. And there's something to be said about truly compounding your account over a long period of time, and even just getting like 7% a month. You know what 7% a month over a long enough period of time would do? That's what a lot of people forget in the trading industry, like now, with you know, like a lot of it's like payouts, prop firm, like, but back in the day, if you really were ever gonna make it in trading, you would have to take personal capital or buy a seat somewhere, and you'd have to just slowly compound it over time. Like that's hard to do. We've traded the same strategy for like 6 months at a time, for like 8 months at a time, but to do it for like 3 years, that's hard to do. You have to be trading small to do that. I really believe that. So that might be the direction we're going. The only reason I'm like kind of against doing a prop account right now is because for me, there's a different type of stress when I'm in it, and I don't know. I'm better at trading cash accounts than I am at trading prop accounts. But this is the way that we are gonna trade whatever we decide. I'm leaning towards the cash account. Like I said, we'll just trade on IG. They've been around since like 1973 or something, so they've been around forever. I don't think we closed back above that level. We did not. But we are going to close out the stream. We're just going to kind of let this trade ride. I wanted to show you the breakdown too of why I got in it and how, it plays out, right? We're going to keep going with the same thing we've been doing, the same risk management, 1-to-1, trying to make 15 pips, risking 15 pips. Just doing the same thing on a daily basis, and just trying to pick the best trade each day. And then we'll probably just, I'll set up a trading journal, and we'll just probably track it live together and just probably throw in 10K and trade slow, and we'll try to compound for a few months. That way I could just get back on here. It's going to be super risk-free. We could literally, and when I say risk-free, I mean just, it's risk-free for me when we were trading so little. Like, you could, like, if it takes us 4 trades to lose like what we would typically be losing in 1 trade, that's pretty like easy going, you know what I mean? If we cut our risk down to 10 leverage. So we'll probably do that next week, and then just kind of have a full week of streaming and try to make some money. And yeah, but the same concept, guys. We'll see. I don't know if this one will go all the way down, but if we start going, we have potential, I think, to go like at least to here. We'll update you guys with how it plays out, though. We're just going for that 1-to-1. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, though. I'm glad you guys were able to join. It's just quick little stream, and yeah, we'll be back Monday, though. So we'll close that out in prayer. Father, I just thank you for this week. I thank you for today. I thank you for my brothers in this community. I hope they're doing well wherever they're at in life. Father, you just know exactly what's going on in their lives, and I just pray that you show up in a way that can't be mistaken as anything other than you. And I just pray that you just bless them and their families, and that you increase them, and that you give them enlargement in their life, and that they can see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, and that you just prosper them in their ways, you prosper them in their minds, in their souls, and their health. I just pray that, as the name of Jesus is spoken online, that everyone's situation is healed, whether it's physical, spiritual, mental. I just thank you that you brought us together today to pray, and that you just hear us when we pray, and that you're here together with us, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. So game plan is, and that's mainly why I got on here, to figure out a game plan with you guys, is we'll come back Monday. We'll have the account ready, and we'll just kind of journal and just take trade after trade, and pick the best ones, and hope we can win more than we lose. But I love you guys. I will see you on Monday, and I hope you have a good weekend. I'll lock this trade in. That way we can see kind of how it played out and see if my theory was right on it. Thank you, brother. Yeah, definitely gonna get some rest this weekend. Gonna take a break from the screens and just kind of reset. So I'll see you guys Monday.